Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 5 minutes past the hour on this 14th day of August. It is Friday Junior, better known as Turn Up Thursday, Turn Down for What. And you got it tuned in to hashtag Truth Be Told /JD Live, your early morning. Get up, wake up, wake up. We're broadcasting live on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. And to all my people on the gram, I see a lot of folks on the gram. Good morning to you. Good morning, Michael Keefe. Good morning to all the family that is logged in on the Instagram, to everybody getting in on Facebook and on YouTube. Good morning to y'all. How are y'all doing on this Turn Up Thursday? Turn Down for What? It is Friday Junior. And I don't know about y'all, but this week has went like, just like that. I mean, just like, it was gone just like that. The weekend is almost here, baby. Almost here. And I'm never by myself when I come in here. I always find a little help from my friends. So y'all put your hands together. My brother from another mother down there in the EMI. Yeah, yo, the scholar himself, Mr. Dapper Dan. Y'all say hello. Good morning to Mr. Bowtie, always with that cool as the other side of the pillow blue in the background. Good morning, Scholar. How you doing this morning?
All is well, brother Joe. Can't complain. It's conversation with Joe this morning. How's everything going with you, Scholar?
Man, listen, I woke up this morning with a lot on my mind and a lot I want to say, and I don't know if I'll be able to say it all in 1 hour, but I will say this. Y'all got to start paying attention. Y'all have really, and when I say y'all, I mean all of us, black, brown, green, blue, purple, non-melanated, melanated, y'all got to start paying attention, because there's getting to be two categories of people around here. It's the haves and the have absolutely not. And then there's another category that's a humongous category. Those who are caught in the middle.
Mm.
Because some of y'all have, and you have a lot. Some of y'all don't have absolutely nothing, but a lot of us are somewhere in the middle. We got some, but we really ain't got a whole lot. It's like you on the borderline. It's all like you're like one meal away from being nothing, and you're like one move away from having everything. We right there in the middle. I mean, right there in the middle. But we got to
Stop
start
talking
paying
about me,
attention.
Joe. Stop talking about me.
No, I'm just saying we got to start paying attention, because
Yeah.
watch this. Right now, I've been watching the news cycle since I got up this morning. And the news cycle ain't talking about nothing but Donald J. Trump and Vladimir Putin and this meeting they about to have. And that to me is a huge distraction, because right now they're trying to redistrict districts in Texas. And if
Florida
they
as well.
do, and if they do, there will be a power shift in our governmental way that we do things. Because you got to understand, he that is in power can dictate the law. He that is in power can dictate how he moves certain assets around. And that's all politics is. How do I get the assets to those I feel need the assets? And you have to understand, like right now, look what's going on in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is literally being the test crash dummy right now. Let's test this and see how it works. How does it work when we deploy the National Guard and other security elements to begin policing our cities?
I got one for you better, Joe.
Talk to me.
I think he's testing Washington, D.C. to see if martial law will work for him when
Right,
he do create a chaotic situation.
right. That
Because
part.
the
That part.
last time he was president, when he had released the military in Washington, he was met with some issues. A lot of heads of the military said, "Hey, no, you can't do that. Nah, this is not what United States military for. We don't go to war against our citizens and stuff like that." So he had to get rid of all of them and make sure
Mm,
that he had people in place that could do what he said. So as much as he hate Kim Jong Un, I think that's exactly who he's trying to be like.
mm. So family, I got to clean my glasses on that one, because I need to see clearly. I think we all need to see clearly and start having a clear understanding that we got to start paying attention. I don't know about y'all. I live in the great state of Louisiana. I know Brother Bowtie is in the great state of Florida. Both of those states are Republican ran states. They have Republican legislators that are majority, and they have a Republican governor. They are what we call a clean sweep. What Washington is right now. Washington is literally, the president is Republican. conservative, whatever you want to call it. That's the party that is in charge. The party that is in charge of the Senate and the House is also majority Republican. So
Republican, yeah.
whatever they decide that they want to do, that's what they do. And you have to ask yourself, if you're not Republican or you don't see things the Republican way, who's your voice? How do
Mhm.
you get your issues brought to the table? Or better yet, how do you even get your issues passed in the legislation that what matters to you begins to show up in laws that affect your everyday living? A lot of folks do not understand these people control more than you know, and you've got to pay attention not only at the federal level, at the state level. A lot of y'all got to start paying attention at your local level. Start asking who's the school board person if you got children in school. Start asking who's your mayor and your councilman, because these are the people who affect what goes on in your city. And I'm going to throw it back to Bowtie. But brother, I thought about this because I feel like we're not paying attention. I feel like a lot of levels, especially at the local level, a lot of us are not paying attention. We're not paying attention. We're letting these gossiping Gussies and Gusses of the ghetto, along with these political prostitutes, tell us anything, and they are pipering us straight to the river right here in my area. And I'm going to call a spade and tell me if I'm wrong. And I welcome him or any of his people to jump on here if they feel like I ain't telling the truth. But right now, in the municipality that I work in, I don't live there. They are debating on a tax that was on the books for 50 years. It fell off the books. Now they're trying to bring it back on the books. And it only fell off the books for maybe 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months, if I'm correct. But one of the biggest proponents against the tax is a guy who doesn't live in Opelousas and a guy who has been known to use a Caucasian guy who has been caught. The audio is out there of him calling us the N-word, who got fired in the city that I live in for the way that he treated students, black and brown students to be exact, at the school. I am completely flabbergasted that anybody would even lend him an ear that looks like us.
Mm.
But seems to be people are quick to say, oh, he's talking straight facts. Well, where is these facts coming from? And to what end is he talking these facts? Because he's already let it be known he's not too very fond of black and brown kids. That's recorded in the school system he got fired from. Also, it's very obvious he ain't very fond of black and brown people because he gratuitously had used the N-word. And it was caught on audio and put out in the public. And it ceases to amaze me how black and brown folks will tell the truth and we will criticize them up and down the line. But let somebody non-black and brown, it's like we caught up in this slave man syndrome. It's like everybody wants to be Stephen or Stephenette. Oh, Monsieur Candy, we got to make sure Candyland is okay. And
I told you that yesterday, Joe.
What he doing on that now? What he ain't supposed to sleep in this house? Man, stop hating on your own people. Stop being the gossiping Gus and Gussies of the ghetto. And the only reason you're doing it is let's tell the truth. You ain't telling the truth, but behind the scenes, somebody is greasing your palm. Come on, tell the truth. Tell the truth. See, you get on there, oh, they can't buy me off. Oh, they already bought you off. And you're mad because the ones who used to give you money don't give you money no more. That's why all of a sudden 1 year you were for them, now the next year you're against them. Just saying. Just saying. We got to wake up, family. We got to wake up. We got to stop cutting off our nose to spite our face. We got to learn that there's got to be real unity in the community, and whoever's the HNIC should not even be relevant to the part of all of us doing our part to get to where we need to get to. Who in charge don't bother me. If we are doing our part, we should all be at laser focus to do what I can do to fix this and to get us to a better place. Brother Bowtie.
Yeah, as we said yesterday, we're gonna start calling them Stevens.
That's it.
Put that
Stevens
nigga
and
on that.
Stevenettes. That's what they are.
But
Stevens and
Joe,
Stevenettes.
this remind me of the movie The Spook that sat at the back door. And we can't be, how can I say? I don't I'm like you. I don't care about who's the HNIC. My only issue is the HNIC followed a plan that's beneficial towards us. So we can't get distracted when we're voting or whenever we're supporting anyone or whenever we're endorsing anyone. Hey, if we put you in the seat, this is what we need. Hey, we need these parks clean. Hey, we need the police to stop with their aggression. Hey, we need them to treat us like equal. Hey, we need these taxes, Lord. It's for our greatness. Like we're trying to do an even playing field. So we're actually trying to be there equal. Like
Hey,
so if I
we
put you
got
in the seat or I vote for
right.
you, or I tell you go run for the seat, I don't need you turn to Stevenson. Your name is Lamar
And it
or
needs to stay
Pookie.
Lamar. Hold it. It needs to stay Lamar. Hold it. And we need to put it in writing. Listen, I'm not asking for us to ask them for the world. And good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to everybody. Good morning, James Vincent, my good friend, my childhood friend from back home, Pastor James Vincent.
Good
Listen,
morning, Pastor.
when we dealing with these politicians, and that's a real pastor, ain't no play pastor. There be a lot of play pastors out there. That's a real pastor right there. Um, we are so caught up in me, mine, my clique, my people, my people. We don't come together and say, what are three common things that's the greater good for all of us? Put that in writing and put that before the politician and say, before you come into our church, before you come into our neighborhood, and I don't care if you're black and brown, green, blue, purple, non-melanated or melanated. I don't care if you're white or black. Whoever the politician is who comes to you and says, look, I'm running for this office, we as a community, along with our community leaders, our civic leaders, and the community as a whole should have three things that benefits everybody in the community. Be it that you're up here or you're down there. Be it that you're north, south, east, or west. If you are a part of our community, we should have three simple demands that benefits everybody. And we should put it before that politician and say, hey, before you set up in our community and begin canvassing our community, before you come into our churches, before you come into our activity in our recreation centers, before you come into our public spaces in our community, you have to, in writing, commit that if you should get elected and we back you, these three things will happen starting on day one, and you may not get them done on day one, but you will start the process of getting these three action items done for our community starting on day one. That's our problem. We let people come and promise, but we don't get nothing in writing, nor do we hold them accountable when they don't keep the promise.
Well, I got one even better, Joe. This
Talk
is
to
my
me.
angle when it comes to politics. And I vote every term, whether it's local, whether it's state, whether it's, but how
Amen.
I vote, and I'm just gonna be honest, Joe. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm actually part of the Green Party, and I sometimes vote independent. But I have to vote Republican or Democrat sometimes on certain issues. But this is
Mm-hmm.
how I vote. When I look at my community, in particular the Black community, there's four things that will help us to see, but there's three things I want to look at. So oftentimes when we have these politicians come out and talk to us, we need to start asking them for a resume. No, we don't need you to show up and say, hey, we got brother Joe such running for commissioner. He's here to speak. Nah, Joe need to come there with about a good 200 or 300 pamphlet to say, hey, this is my plan. This is my business plan for your community.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
we need to be able to read over it, give us 20 or 15 minutes to read over before you even get up there and speak, because we need to have some questions based off your business plans for our community. So this is my three things. I need to make sure that it's economically beneficial towards the Black community. I need to make sure that the education is beneficial towards the Black community as well. And I need to make sure that there's some kind of government or health that's going to affect the Black community. These things will sustain us and help our community go back, because these are the resources that we lack. Brother Umar Johnson once said that a powerful Black community has their own bank, their own grocery store, their own health care, and their own schooling. Well, we
Mm.
need three of those. We can negotiate with the grocery store because we can grow our own crops. Or where I'm from in Miami, we have so many tropical fruit, we could go steal our own fruit. But the other three When these commissioners or these mayors or these state representatives, this congressmen, these senators, when they come talk to you, they come in your community, and there's somebody who got grease to say, okay, I'm gonna allow you to come speak at my church. Hey, I'm gonna allow you to come speak at my Masonic temple. Hey, I'm gonna allow you to come speak at my school. Hey, we need to see their business plan for our community these 2 years or 4 years that they're going to sit in their seat and see if they're worth our vote, because we need them to stay according to their business plan. Otherwise, we need to fire them. And I
Right.
think we need to actually change politics. I don't think that the city manager uh, or the mayor should have the authority to, or the governor should have the authority to fire the ones in the local, fire a commissioner or mayor in the local politics. I believe the people should fire him. How I personally feel, and it's the same thing with our actual president. Hey, you're not doing anything accordingly to move us forward. You're moving us backwards, or you're keeping us sustained. Nah, I think every time there's a State of the Union, we should do a vote. Nah, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. Every time there's a city town hall meeting, nah, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. Nah, we need to get him out the seat. We need to file amendment. He didn't do what he promised. He
Right.
said in the first 100 days that he was going to rebuild his park. He said in the first 100 days that he was going to remove the cameras, whatever. The first 100 days he was going to clean up the drugs in this community. Now you didn't do that. You need to get out of here,
Well,
because we need
see,
to put somebody in there who's going to do it.
see, brother Bowtie, because I've worked in government, and
Mm-hmm.
I work in government right now. I've worked in government I was the chief of minority affairs. I actually worked in government from a department head position where I connected city government that was not and I did a lot of DEI initiatives and understanding. And here's another thing I think we really have to get into. And good morning, everybody. Good morning, Willie Pickens. Good morning, James Vincent. Good morning to all our people on Instagram, all our people on YouTube. There's just a plethora of people out there this morning. Good morning to y'all. We've got to do something that even to me is just a little bit further than we normally do. When these good jobs come into our community, and they are good jobs in every city, not only do we need to advocate that Black and brown folks get some of those good jobs, we need to advocate that Black and brown folks are part of the administration and in the hierarchy of these good jobs, that they are supervisors, managers, vice presidents. They are people who are not just the people, the worker bees on the floor producing, manufacturing, or doing whatever needs to be done. They are the individuals who are also managing back in the back office with finances. They are the CFOs, the CEOs, because you got to understand this. And I looked at this yesterday. The most educated and degreed individual in the United States of America. Now, I'm going to say this again. The most educated and degreed individual. This was the exact words. I had to look it up myself. I ran it through 3 or 4 different search tools. I ran it through AI because I could not believe it. But every time it came back with the same answer, is a Black woman.
Mm.
Nobody has more secondary, after high school education and degrees hanging on the wall than a Black woman. Let me say that one more again. Let me get y'all to hear that clearly. Clearly. By statistics, nobody has more after high school education than a Black woman. I ran it through search. I heard it on a actual podcast. Then I heard it on a newscast, and I said, this can't be right. Then I ran it through the litmus test, and the litmus test said you're absolutely correct. So the people who have the education, now watch this. Having the education does not mean you have the wherewithal or you have in all you're getting get understanding. Because I'm not saying because you're not collegiately educated that you can't be a supervisor, you can't be a manager, you can't be an owner. Because believe it or not, if you run the statistics the other way, the least degreed individual in the United States of America are Caucasian white men, but the most supervisional and ownership jobs are owned by white men. So guess what? We getting all these degrees, we getting all this education, but they're getting they're the owners, they're the supervisors, they're the managers. and they don't have the degrees you have. So once again, it has to be a balance. A balance, as a friend of mine would say, who's Caribbean. There has to be a balance.
Mm.
And
Also, Joe, just to add to it, to add something to our sister, let's brag on us a little bit more. They're also the number one in small businesses. Black
come
women
on.
has more small businesses than any race, than any sex. Like I think yesterday I was reading something that said there's 1.8 million small black owned businesses owned by black women.
Right. Good morning. Good morning to all the Masons, all our frat brothers that are joining in, all our sisters. I see y'all, boy. Y'all taking over Instagram. Take it over for me. Take it over. That's what I'm saying. Listen, y'all, we're in here talking some real talk. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, brother Bro Tie in the place. And we just want to encourage y'all to pay attention. Pay attention. I can't tell you how to think or what to think. I can't tell you how to vote or what to vote. But I can tell you this. You need to get engaged, get involved, get informed, find out what's best for you and yours. First, your household. See, first, just like in an airplane, if there's turbulence, if there's bad conditions, and all of a sudden things in this airplane just don't go the way they're supposed to, it all of a sudden things get depressurized and you can't breathe right because the pressure has to be right for you to breathe. If in your life there's turbulence and things get kind of crazy, the first thing that might happen is, let's call it metaphorically, there will be some things that will fall from the sky that can resuscitate you. The first person you got to make sure is straight is yourself, because you can't put on everybody else's mask, and while in the process of putting on their mask, you suffocate and die, because you're not guaranteed the person you save will turn around and save you. So first, make sure you can breathe. And once you make sure you can breathe, make sure that everybody that you hold dear and near can breathe. And once you get them to breathing, make sure that your street can breathe. And after your street start breathing, make sure that your community can breathe. And once your community start breathing, make sure your town can breathe. And once your town can breathe or your city can breathe, make sure your state can breathe. And then it just starts to move out. Family, we can do better. We have to do better. We have to stop doing this. It's only me and mine and only what concerns me, and I got to win. Let me tell you something. I don't mind taking a loss if it's for the greater good of all of us. Brother Bowtie.
Yeah. What's that old phrase is? The old Poe fraud won't praise his own pun. We have too many
I need you to say that one more again. One more
old Poe
again,
fraud
please.
won't praise his own pun.
Come on now.
But we have too many no, I ain't gonna say have too many. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say some way, somehow, black people have become political prisoners in their own community.
Say that again. Oh my goodness, you hitting
Yeah.
them today. You
Yeah,
hitting them today.
we have become for sure political prisoners because they come in our communities and they tell us certain things and we believe it. And be honest with us, most of us are miseducated when it comes to politics. And that's by default because we only pay attention to what's marketed. So if we
Right.
don't hear it on the radio, we don't hear it on TV, then we don't care nothing about it.
Right.
So, there's another side to this that we need to get involved in. We need to go down and we need to pull some of these people running for commissioner seats. We need to pull their background, their public records, hell, their criminal records in some cases. And then we need to decide, okay, whether or not is this worth our vote? Is he or she worth our vote? What is he or she coming with? There's like I'm gonna use this scenario. There's a city in my city called Overtown. Overtown is one of the oldest black cities in Miami.
Come on now.
It used to be called Colored Town, and it ended
Okay.
up being a little successful black town. So what they did by default, they had a lot of Hispanic and white commissioners. They built railroads and highways and stuff going through Overtown, and that's the reason why they start calling it Overtown. They changed from Colored Town to Overtown because they have bridges going over it. So now, some way, somehow, Overtown still is thriving. So now they put even more politicians involved to say, hey, let's take this whole city away and rename it because these black people are holding on to it. But I can't blame them because that's a district for black people. So why in the hell are you voting for someone Hispanic and think that they're gonna do something good for your community when you have this black lady who's about 80 or 90 years old? Say, I watched what they did. I'm trying to preserve the city. I'm trying to make this a historic landmark. I'm trying to save this church. But some way, somehow, this Spanish guy who's look all greased up, look all clean, can tell you that, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring 20,000 new businesses. I mean, 20 business here. We can have an economic growth of $40 million that we're going to put in this community in the first 2 years. You don't see a goddamn business or nothing in there.
Hold it. And if they do what they say they do, you're not in charge. You're not working it. And the only people that benefits is them and their folks, because what they did was they did exactly what they said they did. They just excluded you out the
They did,
equation.
yeah.
So, family,
Yeah.
let me do this. First, let me give a bell. Let me give a horn and a round of applause. All the way in Germany, we international on hashtag Truth Be Told. We got the brother in Berlin. Good morning to you, brother Washington. And I just want to say good morning. Hold on for 1 second. We're gonna get to brother Washington. How you doing this morning, brother Washington?
Doing amazing. Just want to pose a question to you guys when you have time, but go ahead and keep going on.
We're gonna get it. But now it is 31 minutes past the hour. It's time for my brother. You see him hoodied up. Probably got his mind on nothing but the Rams. Probably got his mind on nothing but the Knicks. And he's in the great state of Tennessee. So there's some oranges running around his house. I see him right now. It is brother Elijah Nixon in sports. Good morning, brother Elijah. How you doing this morning, brother?
I'm doing good. Tennessee just made a big move last night. I know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got that Adidas deal, and shipping away from Nike, which I think is going to be huge because they're going to get some recruits and stuff like that. But good morning to everyone. I want to just get to. I got 3 topics to y'all. Just want to skim through them. Now, one of them is not sports related. We're going to come back to that one. But number 1 is Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders, after an amazing preseason game, throwing 2 touchdowns, going 14 for 23 with 138 yards, he gets hurt in his oblique and possibly can hold him out of the Saturday preseason game coming up, where he could have started against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, with that being said, there is 5 quarterbacks on that depth chart. You got Dillon Gabriel, you got Joe Flacco, you got Sean Watson, you got of course Shedeur, and I think there's one more guy that they recently signed. So, with that being said, Kenny Pickett. They got Kenny Pickett. So, with that being said, him holding out, or not holding out, but him sitting out due to an injury, will this hinder him from making a team or probably starting week 1, in your opinion?
I hope they're careful with him. I hope he heals. I know, because as you know, back in February, I ruptured my Achilles. It is now August the 14th, and I am on the mend. But listen, I ain't 100%. So I hope whatever's going on, whatever's going on, he is careful, very careful, because I do not want him to literally mess up his career, because an injury could mess up your career for life. So I hope they sit him down. I hope he don't do nothing. And listen, at the end of the day, he has to be 100% physically okay to play. And I don't need him to start to be great. He don't have to start to be great. That's my opinion, brother Bowtie.
Well, I agree with you, Joe. I agree with you. However, though, I don't think Shedeur Sanders hurt at all, though. I think that's a whole nother political move. But Pickens, I believe that he should think more on the financial side of his life, his goals, and how you want things to play out, and don't rush so quick to try to prove a point. Right now you're in an arena that you need to play chess. Make sure that your moves are all right. So that's my take on it.
Brother in Berlin, I don't know if you know what's going on, but talk to me. I don't know if you're keeping up with American football in Berlin, but talk to me.
I definitely agree with what Bowtie said. I think he understands the bigger picture. Shedeur Sanders is already up in the media. He's already up in the narrative. He's already achieved more than what he needed to achieve in the preseason. So him playing another game only will bring him down. Right now, he's at not his peak in his career, but right now, from what it was, he's already achieved and shown that he's a starting quarterback in the NFL, and that's the narrative now. So him playing another few games only leaves the opportunity for that to plummet. Maybe he has a bad game the second game. Now the narrative changes. So as the narrative is positive, it makes logical sense to go ahead and have a little BS injury during the preseason and keep your narrative running high going into the actual season.
All right. I mean, I didn't think about it that way. I
Talk
just
to
know
me,
that.
Elijah. Talk
And
to
the
me.
only thing I know, I think it will hurt him. I'm not really sure. But what I do know is that when Jalen Hurts took him under his wing yesterday after they talked for a little bit, I think that's the perfect guy. If I had to choose anybody to role model right now, would be with Jalen, because I think that with his name being out there so much over the offseason, if he's not a good quarterback, he is a good quarterback after he won the Super Bowl. He never said a word. He kept it quiet. He kept his head down and worked. I mean, I know he's the complete opposite of Shedeur. I'm not saying that Shedeur shouldn't show his watch and celebrate or whatever, but I know that he stays the same through the highs. He stays the same through the lows. Jalen Hurts never changes emotion,
Right,
never
right.
changes his work ethic. And I think that Shedeur learning some game for him, I think would be perfect, because at the end of the day, and being anywhere in the job field has a roller coaster ride. So
You,
I think that's the right guy.
Elijah, you know what I kind of dislike about what's going on in the sports media right now? I think we pay attention too much to Shador and Shiloh Sanders as athletes. I don't think we really pay attention to their personality and their character. And I'm just gonna be honest, these was two young, raised wealthy black children, like
Yeah,
raised
yeah,
wealthy,
yeah.
and
That's true.
their humanitarianism is like amazing. Like the way
It
that
is.
they
It-
buy people food, the way that they go to causes, the way that they talk to people. Like I don't think they get enough. I don't think they get talked about enough in media, in particular black media, but big media all around. But I guarantee you, even with Brett Favre stealing from the goddamn state of Mississippi, but
Oh,
I guarantee you, Brett Favre go feed 100 people next week in Mississippi and make the news,
I'm
and
happy
they'll
you said
talk about it as if like it was something great. But I don't think that they do nothing. Not only Shador and um um
Shiloh,
um Shiloh, because they're doing an amazing job. But
Teddy
there's other
Bridgewater.
athletes.
A lot of black
Yeah,
athletes. A lot,
a lot of
not,
athletes that's doing it. But
we can talk.
I just don't like that they're not highlighting it. What
Hey,
they're highlighting, they highlighting certain moments just for us to watch and see and say, I told you he was gonna fail.
but that's
I
the point.
told you he
But
wasn't that good.
but bow tie, that's the point. We know. Okay, watch this. Elijah, one of the best, and go see the Fitz Take. One of the best interviews in the Fitz Take is with Malik Neighbors, the Malik Neighbors, who
Mhm.
came back and gave to the community from whence he came. Listen, these athletes come back. Listen, I am very good friends with Super Bowl champion Kevin Falk.
Mhm.
Kevin and I speak on a sometime weekly, monthly basis. Kevin don't live too very far from me. Kevin is involved in the community. Kevin is engaged with the betterment of these kids. Not only did Kevin coach at the high school he came from, he coached from the unit. He coached at Karen Crow High. He coached at LSU. Kevin is a stand-up guy. And too many times we allowed the media and the propaganda machine to make us black men look like monsters. And shame on y'all when y'all jump on that gravy train. I'm saying that right now when I talk about the situation where I am working at in the city of Opelousas. It ceases to amaze me how if it's white, it's right. If it's brown, it can stick around. But if it's black, it's got to stay back. And we got to stop that. We got to stop that because we're the ones who perpetuate that. Oh, the white man said it. It's right. The brown guy said it might can stick around, but the black guy said it, nah, it can't be. It's got to stay back. And it comes out of our mouth. It comes out of black men's mouth. It comes out of black women's mouth. And we are our worst enemy. And we got to stop that. Go ahead with sports,
What's the
Elijah.
brother name? The brother, the promoter, boxer promoter, the older black guy.
With the spiky hair
Yeah,
that promoted Ali and Tyson.
yeah,
Who
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah,
it?
yeah. But done
Mark King.
Don
something.
King. Don King.
Yeah,
Don King.
yeah. You know, it's funny that he said that on the largest platform last time Trump was running, and he said, "This white is right," and I was like, "Look at this nigga jigabooing on national TV," and it
But that,
made headlines all over. But
oh
we
yeah.
have to stop jigabooing. But hey,
Right.
Elijah, I would like for you to give us an update. Well, in particular, me probably tomorrow or next week. Try to include this in one of your episodes. Desmond Watson, you familiar with him?
What's up with him?
So we call him the honorary Heisman Trophy from last year. He was the number 21 for the Florida Gators, the only athlete to wear 475 pounds and play running back and tight end. So he's over there with Shiloh. He's in Tampa. So they're
He got to lose
saying,
weight to play, right?
yeah, they're telling him he need to lose weight before he get on the field. He's still moving to be big, but they want him to lose a lot more weight because they say he can probably move a lot more faster. But yeah, that's the last thing that I heard, that they wanted him to
That's
lose
the
weight.
juggernaut. I don't know if I would tell. I'd say, look, bro, if you can move like that, it take a couple of. I don't know. That's the juggernaut.
You ever seen him perform, Joe? Joe, you ever seen him play?
Man, I saw him. That's why I know.
Yeah,
that's the
so
juggernaut.
he's known for whenever he score a touchdown, he always do the Heisman Trophy pose.
Right,
so
that's the
we call him
juggernaut.
the honorary Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a health thing, man. I don't know,
Yeah.
but go to the number 2 topic is NIU. He hit the head coach Thomas Hammock hit the podium yesterday just to talk about the transfer portal. Now, teams like NIU and UL is going to get plucked every year because they're going to take them and bring them to the highest programs. But he hit the podium yesterday and was like, "Look, sum it up to you guys." He said, "If you're going to school for financial reasons, you better off just going to get a job. I don't think that you should be out here because I went to school."
Say that again. You got to say that again.
If you're going to school for financial reasons, you might as well just go get a job.
Stop. Okay.
Hold on. I want to finish his quote.
I need you to
let him finish, Joe.
Hold on, Bowtie. Once again, I'm just going to say this and I'm going to let you continue with this story. These type comments always come from folks who didn't come from impoverished neighborhoods, who didn't come from the struggle that we came from as black and brown folks, but they want to tell you about if you're going to school to make your pockets better, then what you need to do is go get a job. No, sir. What you need to understand is I didn't come from white privilege like you did. Continue, Elijah.
So he went on to say that he went to school for free, and if he would do it again because he said college helped him become a man. He said when you come here, you transition into being a man. It wasn't just come here, get rich, and go. Now, before you go, Joe, he is a black man. He's a black man. He's not a white guy. I can't speak on his financial levels or financial classes from his growing up, but he did say he went on for free, but he's tired of it. He just feels like, this is not, a place for you just to come make money. If so, to go do a job, go to a job, but you're missing out the experience of being a college kid and turning into a man. I don't know.
Let me go back. Let me go back to Brother Malcolm. They always send one of us to get one of us. Man, that ain't how we talk. Period. That ain't how we talk. As a black father, that's not how I talk. If my son, and I have a son that's a senior in high school, my youngest child, a senior in high school, hell of a track runner. Be exact, I was looking at some state stats and I was like, oh my God, boy, getting it. If a big school offers him what they need to offer him, because he's done already brought up to me a certain schools, he done brought up to me certain military academies. Every time he says a military academy, and that's crazy because his oldest brother is 20 plus years in the Navy. I did 20 plus years in the Army. And every time I talk to my child, I'm not encouraging him to be a part of no man's military. No man's military. Because a lot of folks don't know. You can join the military and you don't have to join the American military. See, when you know more, you can do more. You can literally, as a young man in the United States of America, go join a military and it don't have to be the American military. Prime example. And brother in Berlin knows this. You can join the French Foreign Legion. And they pay very well. And their benefits are very good. But they don't tell you that because they don't tell you everything. And then they try to tell you how unpatriotic you are if you don't do certain things. Let me tell you something. The more you know, the better off you are. Because guess what? If the war broke out today, I tell you who ain't going to be on the front line. Trump's kids. His vice president kids, and half the people kids who are in Congress and in the Senate who decided and signed the declaration of war. They kids ain't gonna be on the front line. But I promise you, from these dilapidated communities, black and brown, and a lot of poor kids are gonna be on that front line, going left, and taking whatever it needs to be took for the United States of America, only to come back home and still be poor and still treated like trash. Man, come on, wake up. We don't talk like that. They send one of us to get one of us. If them young men who should have got compensated anyway from day one, go and get compensated, I applaud them. I applaud them. No, don't go get a job. Go get your education and go get your money. That's what they did. Understand, black and brown folks never had an even playing field when we got here. Never. We weren't asked, would you like to come on and help us build this great utopia called the United States of America? That did not happen. My ancestors were not queried, asked, or even sit down and counseled with. No, they were snatched up and put into slavery. And I said what I said.
I like that point.
And
Joe.
if we really want to put the kids in the best position, let's go ahead and stop in our culture, making it the norm that the kids get out of the house at 18. Let's go ahead and let the young men stay in the house until they're 21, until they finish university. A lot of the mistakes happen when we are out of our parents' house. And for some reason, especially when it's a single mother, we're so ready to get away from that energy that we end up putting ourselves in worse situations when if it was actually a healthy house to be in and we were allowed to flourish in that said house in safety, our college experience would probably be 10 times better.
I'm so sorry I don't got a bell. Where the black card at, Joe?
Hold on.
But I know what y'all say is completely true, and I think that at the end of the day, I just think he was speaking out of frustration. I mean, they probably sent him out there just to be a black face of it all, but I think he was speaking out of frustration because every year his team will get plucked, and you know that NIU team did beat Northern Illinois University.
Yeah,
it did beat Notre Dame last year, right?
Yeah, it did.
But, so he, as a coach, you want to build off of that, or you want to continue to do it, but you can't do it if Notre Dame comes and say, hey, man, I know y'all beat us last year. He was great. I'm grabbing him for you. Then another school, I don't know, Michigan or Ohio State. Hey, I know we played y'all last year. I'm grabbing him for you. And I get it. He's probably frustrated, very frustrated. But that's the way the world works, man. Like these guys want to – it's not – let me tell you this. When these guys hit these portals and they go and play at these next levels, it's not too much of life-changing money, but it's situation-changing money. It's situation-changing money of – I want to help my mom out with some of the stuff because you don't know what she's been through. 5 a.m, taking me to the school. And
Bring
then
your camera down, brother in Berlin.
She taking me to AAU practice, and she taking me to another practice, or mom and dad if you have both in the house, or just dad. Whoever's in the house, they're doing so much to bend and break, and they just want to make sure that their family shares at the end of the day because they're getting paid for not only doing something that they really like to do, but that they're good at. So again, I just think it was out of frustration. I think
hey, you got it. Okay, now ask yourself this. Come on, Elijah. I'm 58. You the youngest of the crew. Right now, okay, give you a prime example. Because I do get these phone calls. I get a call from Alabama State. Hey man, looked at your resume. You know sports pretty good. We're looking for it because in athletic programs, they do have a position called media advisor, the guy who teaches the kids how to deal with the media. I get a call from Alabama State. Man, we'd love for you to come and be a part of the Hornet Nation. This is the package we have. We would love for you to come and help us with our program. We know what you did with Southern University, with Grambling. We know what you've done, and we'd like for you to come and work with us. That same day, I get a call from Tuscaloosa from the Crimson Tide. Hey, man, I was looking at you, saw some things, got a package here, want you to come and do the same thing you're doing at Alabama State for about $250,000 more, $250,000 more, plus different benefits and packages. And watch this. The ability to, sometimes, sadly, sometimes the financial weighs out the cultural. Because guess what? I think I would be a great guy at Alabama State for the Hornets in the SWAC because I'm a SWAC guy. I graduated from a SWAC school. I went to grad school at a SWAC school. I didn't undergrad at a SWAC school. I think I'd be a great guy. But then the chance, though I can't stand the Crimson Tide. I hate Alabama. But the financial outweighs the cultural. And that would be, okay, what am I going to leave for those of us who think this way? Because all black men don't think about what am I leaving for my next generation. That's why most black men don't have life insurance. That's why most black men don't have a savings. Most black men are not trying to pass anything on to their future generation but debt and problem. I said it. But for those of us who are not that way, we are concerned about what do we pass on to the next folk. what happened if tomorrow I die? You know, what happened if tomorrow, what benefits do I have to pass on? Because watch this, I can tell you this for a fact. The death benefits at Alabama State may be $25,000. The death benefits at Alabama, I promise you, is 100,000 plus. That they probably have some type of policy that if I died today working at Alabama, my family get $100,000. I mean, sometimes you just gotta look at the picture, the bigger picture. That's all I gotta say, Elijah.
All right, then my last topic, and then Bro in Berlin, got it. My last topic today is it's not to do with sports. It's to do with, I know we all listen to music. The last year, Kendrick and Drake saga been going on, and Kendrick, put out that record "Not Like Us," and it changed everything in that beef. Now, recently, yesterday, or 2 days ago, I should say, Drake put out, he had a lawsuit going on, and right now, as I speak, he is requesting Kendrick Lamar's violence from 2013 to now. He's requesting to see if his kids is his. He's requesting, this is true, he's requesting all this in these files just so he can prove that some of the stuff that he said was right, and they keep saying it's not. What happened was his manager, which I think is his fiance, and he wasn't having on good terms. And you got that one friend that still stays in the middle and make sure that everything's okay, which was his manager, and he's saying his manager is the kid's father and not his, so he wants to prove that in the court document. He said that he beat on his girl, and he wants to prove that in a court document. So he wants everything, violence. He wants text messages from the manager, which is Dave Free. He wants all that stuff set up so he could put it out there. And I think possibly he wants to go at him again, or he just wants that just to put out there. So what do you guys think? It's a beef record that I think that went too far because the guy wants to sue and get all this legal documentation on one guy that, like, it is what it is. So I just want to know what you guys think about it.
I believe that. Well, I ain't gonna say I believe. I know. I know exactly what it is. He lost, and sometimes when you have someone who's just great at what they do, and I'm not saying Drake wasn't a good musician, but Kendrick Lamar was way better. He was great. He was superior. He strategic. He's a conscious rapper. First of all, you never supposed to beef with a conscious rapper. I believe if you're a hood rapper, you only beef with a hood rapper. But we seen this happen with Jay-Z and Nas. I don't know if you ever heard of the song Ether by Nas. That's what happened when you beef with a conscious rapper. Like, he can destroy you in one song. I mean, like, Jay-Z made actually 8 songs compared to just Nas, just Ether. And the Ether had its whole damn record label. But I think Jay-Z realized that he took a loss to say, okay, let me get back to my money. Let me not focus on that. Okay, I lost some fans. He did win that battle. Let me get back to my money. And now you can find Jay-Z and Nas working together on projects. I think it would be wise for Drake to say, hey, let me get rid of this sucker shit, excuse my language, and say, let me, focus back on the money, because I believe for the art, they will create some good things together for the culture or for the art of music. I love music, but I think they'll do some amazing things together with music, whether they're on a record label together, whether they're not, whether they're on the song together, whether they even come out with a whole strategic plan on marketing, because both of them made a lot of money. I actually seen a podcast about 3 months ago say that both of them had split $80 million over the beef in the last 2 years. That's a lot of money. And it's all off clicks, likes, and baits and marketing. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I just think that he need to take away the sucker shit, get out his feelings. Forgive me, this the little hood side. I wasn't Antonio before I was Brother Bowtie. But yeah, get rid of that and say, hey, let me focus back on getting money. Let me focus back on being a family. Let me focus back on the reason why I got into this art, But that's it, my take.
I completely agree with
Brother in Berlin, I'm curious because he's an artist. I want somebody with who's in art. Brother Berlin, I need you to comment on what Brother Elijah just said. How you feel about that?
Permission to speak freely?
Speak freely, sir.
It's all part of the distraction machine. Hip hop is not about lyrics and spreading the messages to the youth or to the people anymore. It's a soap opera now. It's it's not just about the lyricism and what is conveyed through rhythm and sounds. It's about the soap opera behind the scenes now. So our culture it's just a big, that part of our culture is just a big soap opera, and it's a distraction now when there's all this extra media or narrative around these artists. It's not about them being artists anymore. It's about them being products. And now, since they're products, they can be used to keep our eyes on things that we shouldn't be keeping our eyes on. And this entire beef between Kendrick and Lamar, in the big picture, so what? But because it's so entertaining and so engaging and so distracting, we generated billions of dollars for the record label machine because of a soap opera.
I personally hate it, and I agree with you. I agree with both of y'all. I personally hate it because I just think that, like, it's like a cutting match, or I don't know how y'all say, like, when you joke with each other. Imagine if I sued in middle school for somebody saying something about me because they got me good. Imagine if I sued for real. Like, it don't make sense. Like, he just got him good, and it's just the antics behind it. Now, it probably is a distraction, bro. You're right. It probably is a distraction for something else. I don't know. Maybe it's something going on, but I also just think that he don't know how to just take an L and go. Like, it happened. It's over with. It's not like nobody don't listen to his music no more, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I might stop. I don't like the antics. I really don't like it's just music, bro. Like, it's nothing bigger than what it is. It's just music. He didn't win the battle. Now go ahead and just go about your business and keep going. Like, at the end of the day, this is not the first battle Drake lost. He lost against Pusha T.
Come on.
So it's like, bro, like what more? Like, it's not like you didn't lose before. Like, it just, to me, it just doesn't make sense of how you're acting. And like I said, I like his music and I like what he brings to the table. But come on, dog. Like,
Elijah, once again, you set the house on fire because Drake shot the first shot.
He did.
You set the house on fire, but you run outside the house and swear to God, you the burn victim. Oh, look what they did to me. Look what they did to me. Well, who set the house up? Excuse me, sir. Who set this house on fire? I might have dropped a match in there, but look what they did to me. Come on, family. Come on. You can't. People got to stop lighting the house on fire and running out swearing to God that they the burn victim. You the reason we here.
Yeah.
Take your lick and turn your lick into a lesson and keep it moving.
Right. That's all you got to do. But that's all I have for today.
Thank you, brother. Berlin? It's all
okay,
you, man.
Go ahead. I know you might be trying to end, so you decide.
No. We're not ending because you said you had something to talk about. And since I own this, I leave when I get ready to leave, and I can stay another hour if you like to. So we here until you get ready to leave. And if it's just me and you, because Brother Elijah got to go and Brother Cope got to go, then it's just me and you. Let go.
Okay. I'll make this quick. In our community, when we're trying to have discussions and try to talk to people, it's very easy for people to find disrespect. And my question is for you three: can you challenge a person's perspective or the way that they're thinking? It's not because you disagree. You're just trying to get clarification and try to get them to explain it a little bit more, without them feeling that you're disrespecting them by asking them to explain their thoughts more. I'm learning that when you ask questions of people's thoughts, and even points when I didn't even say I disagree, I'm just asking questions to kind of get more clarification, people find that as disrespect because I'm interrupting their regurgitation. It's like the movie Good Will Hunting. Like a lot of people just have a lot of memorized points, and when you try to not pick it apart, but just get a little bit deeper into it, they find it disrespectful that you are making them explain their positions. And then when they feel that you're being disrespectful, that's when the argument, the altercations, and the name calling and the threats start to come, when all you were trying to do was get clarification on their points. Can we have conversations with Black people without them finding disrespect when we challenge their points.
That's good as hell. I'll start off with Brother Elijah, because Brother Elijah over there looking like Malcolm. So come on, Brother Elijah, talk to me, man. Talk to me now. Talk to me.
The old me would have been like, bro, you on 100 and you right. You even gotta. I understand it, but the new me, because what I'm learning is, I think it's the way how you say it.
I like that.
So
I like the way you came into manhood on that one.
Our demeanor is like, sometimes we be like, yo, why are you thinking like this? So, we really want to say, I know you really don't think that for real. But it's another way how to say that. And it's just like sometimes, the real us come out of it because some of it we really disagree with. And we're trying to figure out, like you just said, the logic. And then like for us to actually go through the whole conversation, we probably got to have a whole different demeanor because of the stuff that, quote unquote, what they think and what they believe in. So what we got to do is sometimes is just word it in a way where it doesn't sound like we're judging, if that makes sense. So in a way, like when you be like, what do you mean by that? Or, how do you go on by that? And then if I can I sprinkle my 2 cents in there of what I think it is. And if they have an attitude with it, then some people just can't accept criticism, constructive criticism.
Or the truth.
But other than that, I just think that it's just the way how we say things. Because honestly, as you can see, Brother Bowtie just said something in the other one when he called the man a sucker. I understood what he was saying 10 times %, but in the other way, he wanted to clean it up. It was like he don't agree with it. He saying he don't agree with it. In my mind, he was just really just calling that man a sucker. That's all he was doing. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, it's just how you word it and how you say it to keep the conversation going. And I believe that most of us, was raised straightforward. Let your yes be yes and your no's be no's. But in this new generation, it's not like that. It's everything has an open mind. And when you have an open mind, you got to sometimes, I'm not saying accept or tolerate, but I'm saying you have to at least have the air. Just listen to it and try to figure out another avenue to get your point across.
I was trying to go to Brother Bowtie, but his camera went off and he went out, and so he'll be back. What I would say, my brother in Berlin, is the following, and I'm going to say this the best way I can. I have been many a times on the side of Bowtie's back. I have been on the side of my questioning a situation, a circumstance, or a comment that folks felt like, well, you're attacking me. No, I'm not attacking you. If you let it come out your mouth, stand on business. Stand on business. And either come, what I said wasn't really what I meant. Let me clarify that. Or I meant completely what I said and I stand on business. But too many times, folks let their feelings overweigh the facts. And because their feelings overweigh the facts, they want to be right. They don't want to be, they want to be right from I win this argument, not from I am factually correct. And you cannot argue the numbers. You cannot argue the statement. If I say, once again, watch this. If I say it's a beautiful sunny day, if you really want to argue with me because you just want to argue with me, guess what you're going to say? No, it's not. You see them 3 clouds? It's partly cloudy. See, once again, it's a perspective, but some folks, no matter what you say, ain't never going to jive with them. So they always going to try to make you seem like you don't know what you're talking about. Because the truth about the matter is they have a problem with you, not with what you said. They have a problem with the messenger, not the message. That's why right now we're so broken as a people. We have people who are giving great messages, but the problem is people have tainted the messenger. They would say, no, don't listen to him. He ain't a... And I can say that from one person I have a lot of respect for. He is my frat brother, the honorable Elijah, the leader of the Nation of Islam. Hold it. There were times that folks said, man, don't listen to that man. That man crazy. That man got y'all thinking, no, you can't do that. Don't listen to that man. And guess what? There was a time in my life, in my younger days, I was like, man, that man is crazy. He killed Malcolm. I mean, they fed me all kind of bull crap. Oh, that's the man that killed Malcolm. I mean, Malcolm ain't here no more. And you sitting there listening to all this, but then when you see this, he said, she say, these gossiping Gussies and Gussettes of the ghetto, these political prostitutes, these individuals who are looking like us, but they have been programmed by the white man to go into our community and literally infiltrate us and destroy us. You got to watch. All skin folks ain't kinfolk. You got to pay attention, because they be done had you hating somebody that you should love. So when I met the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when he became a grandmaster, and we adorned him with some, and I got the chance to sit there and listen to that man talk, I realized something. Somebody has lied to me. And better yet, I felt bad and wept because I lied to myself. I sit there, not only did I let somebody lie to me, I let their lies become my truth, and it made me lie to myself. And I missed many a years of listening to wholesome, good instruction from a good man that probably could have changed my life. Brother Bowtie, that's all I got to say. Keep it going.
Yeah. Miscommunication always lead to misconnections. That's with your own personal relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your boss, whatever. Miscommunication always leads to misconnection. And I think we miscommunicate by default. Sometimes it don't be intentional. But even if it is intentional, you're aware of your miscommunication, it's your time to correct your communication to it. What I mean by oftentimes that I see in communication with myself and with others is based off how I raise or how you guys govern your household. What you say goes. And for some reason that stays in our mind. In some way, somehow, we don't realize that our kids grow up and our son is a man of his own house. So what you say goes does not goes in his house. So you have to find and communicate with your son, not as a son, but as a man. The same thing with your kids, the same with people with same thing with your bosses, or even just having a conversation in a debate. Okay, maybe if you have a talking point and you can talk to, let's say, for instance, like Louis Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan can tell everybody in the Nation of Islam, hey, this is my demand, this is my order. I need everybody to be here in Washington, D.C. We're doing the Million Man March. That will work perfect because they're underneath his leadership. It wouldn't work perfect for us four on here because we're not part of the Nation of Islam. So there's a miscommunication. So what Louis Farrakhan has to do, he has to say, how can I communicate? How can I connect with these people so they can understand me without getting offensive or without being unsupportive or something like that. So sometimes when you're the leader, sometimes you have to lower yourself down to a teacher or just to be a follower or just to be a listener. One tool that we should never take away is listening ear. Listen. Forgive me, Joe. Listening, being silent in communication and being faithful to the cause of the situation. Because if someone come to you talk about finance, say for instance, like I like finances. Matter of fact, I'll give you a prime example. I'm trying to start a podcast, right? So I have Elijah on here who already has a podcast, and I have Brother Joe on here who already has a podcast. And I know Brother Washington, you said you have one coming soon. I have to be a student. I don't care how much I know in business. I don't care how much I master the bow tie. I don't care how much I master selling cigars. I need to shut up and I need to become a student and I need to listen. Now, if Joe don't be too arrogant and they don't want to communicate with me right away, they don't want to break it down in a simpler form to me, then I need to go find another person that I can listen to and have communication with. So oftentimes when there's debates and things get heated, it comes from a miscommunication that often leads to misconnection. But long as you can find a way to communicate with someone, you can have an understanding. Sometimes there's people who don't understand that, 1 + 1 = 2. Like they're taught a whole different method. Nah, I'm not taught 1 + 1 = 2. I'm taught that 1 + 1 = 3. But you have to communicate with them the right way. But that's my take on it, Scholar.
All right, brother in Berlin, go ahead, my friend.
What you guys are saying makes sense, especially what you said, Joe. I want to talk a little bit about the tone and the miscommunication part that Elijah and Brother Bowtie is kind of speaking about. We have to remember that our foundation, whether you're from I'm from Oklahoma, wherever you're from, our base way of speaking to each other was probably very vulgar, very accent heavy, very very slow sounding, maybe very slangish. And I think all of us have maybe done the work to articulate ourselves in a different manner, or we can speak very clearly. It doesn't mean that we all went to educated schools, but I think we've all put in the work to be able to articulate ourselves. And when people say, you need to say something differently or say something better, it's like they're censoring your masculinity, because you've already done the work to speak like a logical, proper man. You're not speaking in cursing. You're
The
not
King's
speaking and
English.
calling people out their name. You're not speaking with a whole lot of jive turkey talk. You've done the work to be able to articulate yourself in a manner where almost anyone could understand you in the English language. And what I found is very correlating to here in Germany sometimes when people say, oh, I'm saying something in the wrong term or the wrong tone. And I have to remind them, I'm from Black America. We have remixed the English language more than any language has been remixed. Words mean different words, tones mean different things. And we have made this English language way more complicated than any other language on this planet. I think that, and you don't understand how most of my people speak. If you had, you would understand that I have already done the work to be able to speak to you and make these points, and you being offended by a word that I used or my tone, that's not my fault. I've done the work to articulate myself. You maybe haven't done the work and spoken to other lower class Americans. Maybe the only Americans you've interacted with are college educated ones or ones that you saw on television. But if you haven't spoken to people who came from my foundation, then you can't tell me that I'm speaking to you in a mean way or in the wrong tone, because I promise, if I bring somebody from where I'm from who tries to speak to you, you will see completely different how disrespectful they sound versus how I'm speaking. So I think a lot of times it's just them trying to make me lose my point, or they want to be offended. Therefore, they don't have to hear my point or what they're saying. And I think it's a ploy that a lot of times that white people use to negate what we're trying to say. But now it's happening with a lot of, like, we're doing that to each other and saying, well, I didn't like your tone, or I didn't like the way, and it's like, I didn't, and that's when they'll start cursing you out, even though you didn't call them out their name or call them. That's when all the name calling stops and it starts. And you're like, all I did was say something or try to explain to you how I'm thinking. And now all of a sudden we're in this argument.
Hey, you hit the nail on the head. Man, you get the bell, you get the horn, and you get applause. You just made me realize something. That is the out. And because we're sometimes simpletons, we are very simple, and we have to make it seem like it's not my fault the house is on fire, though I set it on fire. It's your fault because you came at me the way you came at me. You said a lot right there, because the out is, I don't like the way you said that. Not you said the truth, not that you said it and you said it to better me and better the situation. I don't like your tone. Your tone says, when you say that, what you really say is, I don't want to accept the truth you told me. And here's my out and my excuse not to accept the truth, because you told me the truth in a manner that was not appeasing to my ears. Baby, last time since y'all live and breathe by this thing, since some of y'all live and breathe by this thing, last time I checked, I was reading a story in here where Jesus himself said, give me some figs, fig tree. And the fig tree said no. Jesus didn't in a calm manner say, oh, dog, you didn't give me no figs. That ain't good. Jesus in a very forceful tone said, I curse you to the root. Bruh, sometimes it is what it is. And the way I said it don't change. That is going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, you know, like
especially as the new community is policing the words these days. As this new era of the last 10 to 12 years that policed words, now you can't even, you're always tripping over your words when you're just trying to have a conversation, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in an altercation.
And then you know, like oftentimes, well, I ain't gonna say oftentimes, it's the truth. Oftentimes when I get a conversation with young ladies, you know, they always want to put men or alpha male in this category. Like, oh, you want to Kevin Samuels supporters. And I say, I like the brother. I say, you know, and it's like, oh, nah, I don't need to deal with you. I said, put aside your emotions and your feelings. I want you to actually listen and take away your emotions and your feelings and tell me, what did he say was wrong? And all of us say the same thing most of the time. It's the way that he communicated to me. It's the way he was speaking. It's not that he said anything wrong. I just wanted it in a box with a bow in a card and say, "Hey, this is for you." I didn't want to say,
Hold up.
there it go.
Hey, but brother
Man, it's
Bowtie,
the same thing with brother Louis Farrakhan when he gives his speeches. He's not giving it to you in a boat. Hey, there it go right there.
But brother Bowtie, catch this. Them same sisters, if you go to their job, they let the white man talk to them however they want to.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Smith. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you doing? You need to be over here doing this right now.
Yeah. Why you don't have an issue with his communication? Oh, he pays my bill, but you want me to die for you. Oh, you want me to protect you. You want me to open doors, But it's the issue is the communication. As I said, miscommunication leads to misconnection. Sometimes we attach our emotions and our feelings to something that we just supposed to took a message from and go on about our life and go along about our business. Like, no matter how it's delivered, like if you have kids, hey, don't touch that goddamn barbecue grill. Hey, baby, don't touch the grill. You might burn yourself. Hell nah. Don't touch that damn grill. Your ass gonna get hot. Your ass gonna get burnt.
It's funny you say that. So like I got, I grew up in a house full of guys, so it's like just 6 of us. And I got a twin brother, complete opposite. Whatever you think of me, think of the complete opposite. Dark skin.
You have a twin? You have a twin?
You heard see how I just looked at that phone?
An actual twin?
Dark skin, dreads, tatted up. Man don't care about nothing.
You got to send me a picture of you and your twin together. I gotta see this.
Right.
I gotta see this.
I think last when I went home. But he don't.
Do he like the Steelers?
No, he like the Eagles.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So your daddy don't claim. So your daddy don't claim none of y'all.
Yeah, y'all opposite for real.
No, but the thing is, it's funny you say that. So like he's just straight to the point, blunt about how he say everything, and what he say is what he say, and how you say it is how you mean it. And he don't care about what nobody says about him because it's like that's how he is. So me and him always have often conversations. Like, hey, bro, I understand where you're coming from. We the same. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, bro, you gotta like really think about how we was raised one way. They weren't raised the same way we was raised. Like we were straight to the point. We was blunt with one another, and if it went to the next level, we're gonna take it there. They're not gonna do that the same here. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna be like, hey, man, I got to say it this way. I got to say it that way. And me being, especially in this field, I have to say stuff for people to understand me instead of me just saying stuff like, I can get up there, I can get on TV and be like, yo, Tennessee looks bad. And then everybody be like, yo, that brother right there. But I can't go up there and say that. I got to be like, yeah, welcome back. Tennessee didn't look the greatest in practice. Yeah. Like that, I got to do that. I can't be real conversational with just the people that I really want to be conversational with. So
you actually might get more followers. You could be like the Charleston White of sports. Hey,
hey, brother Bowtie, you right. He'll get more followers, but guess what? He won't have a job.
and he won't have ladies. No, I'm learning that I had a conversation and it was with the lady, and the lady found the disrespect, even though I was making a point in the guy's favor. And when the lady found disrespect and got angry and started calling me all out my name, the same guys whose point I was trying to help make, then all of a sudden turned on me to protect this woman's feelings of being disrespected. And I'm like, wait a minute. And that's when all the name and you must be and it's like, what? Wow, okay. And it turns into that, and it takes the people who have solutions, it makes them withdraw because they're just trying to bring solutions to the table and then let people discuss it and dissect it however they do. But those people with the solutions you oftentimes get ostracized because they think different, they look different, they speak different. They're not as, you're not part of the cool club. Like maybe if you weren't part of the cool club, maybe you have a different perspective on how to fix certain solutions because you weren't part of the cool club. While you were, because you were part of the cool club, you maybe had all the distractions. Maybe if you weren't part of the cool club, you were able to analyze the HBCU experience in a different way. And then now, a few years later, you can come back to that HBCU and say, maybe you guys should try this because I remember when I was here, you all in this section maybe didn't notice this because you had so many other distractions focusing on sports and your Divine Nine parties and everything else, while the outsiders of that HBCU might have actual solutions to improve the HBCU. But because they're not part of the cool club, they won't be heard.
When you talk about it, and I trust me, I
you gotta
visualize
send it
the
to
whole
me.
situation
Just
because
send
that
it to
done
me,
happened to me.
Elijah.
That done happened to me a couple of times. But once again, I go back to the miscommunication, misconnection. Your mom and your dad would say the same thing. Mom say, "Hey, Washington, take out the garbage." Daddy said, "Hey, boy, go take out that garbage." No matter how it goes, the communication was there. How you choose to take it. And let's just be honest. I meant, like, I'm 40 years old. Whenever my daddy told me to do something, my daddy was barely in my life. Out of my whole life, he probably was there 3.5 whole years. But whenever he said something, I got up and done it, and I never took offense. But when my mama said it, off the gate, well, I always got to take the garbage out. They go my brothers. But however, though, my point is the communication was delivered, no matter who delivered, and you understood it. Now, if you don't want to understand, it's because your own personal emotions took you to it or attached you to it. Because if you don't understand it, there's always a question to ask to make the statement seem even more, how can I say, lamer, or how can I say,
watered down. Watered
yeah,
down.
watered down
Watered
to the
down.
point if
Watered
you
down.
don't understand what they're saying. But if you don't want to understand what they're saying, that means because you personally attach your emotions to it. So I don't know the situation, but I had a similar situation because I do several podcasts. Oftentimes our sisters use that as a method to say, okay, let me corner you in so I can pop off on you, so I can, matter of fact, I had that the other day. I did a podcast Monday, and the young lady reached out to me last week Wednesday, said, "Hey, I love to do a podcast with you. I see you on a bow tie and cigar company." I said, "Sure, all right, no problem, love." So Thursday, she replied, "Don't call me love. I don't have no love for men." And I was like, she went way to the left, right? So me, when I go do a podcast Monday, what's in my mind is I had to defend my business and what I stand for, because she's going to try to come at me from an angle based off of her reply, right? And this take a very interesting turn. She ended up telling me, "Oh, you're very nice, very handsome. Like, I thought to flirt with you a little bit." Well, you scared me because you told me not to call you love, and that's just how I communicate. That's how I talk.
Now hold it. Watch this, bow tie. You're right. And guess what? Sometimes because of your upbringing, where you come from, and the area you live in, things are different. I live in an area where this is a common word, baby.
Yeah.
They say, hold it. Now, watch this. If you go to the city that I was born in, and we just friends, and you are an attractive woman or a man, and you say to anybody, baby, everybody in my city gonna be like, y'all got something going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a normal everyday word. So once again, maybe where she came from, and I think Elijah experienced that when he got down here. Everybody say shy and baby. To me, those are endearing words. I had to be very careful when I first got to college here because I had never been to the state of Louisiana. So when I got here first, that's how all the women talk. And I was used to be like, they like me. And Negroes would look at me and be like, and dude would be like, "Nah, man, they just saying hello." And I was like, "That's not how you say hello." And they be like, you be going to class, you be in class and the girl touch you on the shoulder, "Baby, let me talk to you. Can I see your notes?" I'll be like, "Oh, she got, yeah, of course you can see your fine ass can see these notes. What you mean?" I'd be like, "Yeah." I mean, everywhere I went until I finally got the culture understanding, I realized, man, that's just how they talk. They don't like me because I used to be all up in, "Why you in my face?" In the back of my mind, I was like, "Cause you said baby."
And that's how they do it, man. They got me. Boy, I was at the grocery store one time. I think I was in Rouse's. And like, dude, when I first moved down there and I was putting up stuff, they say, "Hey, did you find everything all right today, baby?" I'm like, "Hey." I still going.
Like my wife is here. Like, you trying to get me killed?
Hey, brother Washington. Because in the back of my mind, when you say baby, guess what? The first thing I hear Ashante going, baby, baby. I hear it in my head. I was like, ooh, she said it like Ashante. Oh my goodness.
So she said it again. So she was, she was like, I was like, yeah, everything I found was good. She was like, that's good, baby. So I said, that's strike 2. So then she told me my price. She say, this is your total. It's such and such love. I'm like, yo, you got one more time if I take this shirt off to show you something. Because you over here playing with me right now. I don't know what you got going on behind this counter. So then somebody had told me like, yeah, no, that's how they go. That's how they talk down here. I was like, we don't do that up north. If you talk to somebody and say, hey, you baby, you love or whatever, hey, y'all doing something. And then she likes you. You don't come around here and being like, yo, no baby, no love.
Hey.
But you thought she was going to propose to you. You like, man, she really loved me. She done called me baby 3 times. Do I got to go find a ring? Do I got to call my mama and get her ring? You thought she was telling you thought it was it.
Hey, brother Washington.
She was just being friendly. You thought she was about to have a fiance.
Right. Hey, brother Washington, brother in Berlin, you know this, brother Elijah. Now I learned this the hard way. Here I am, Southern guy all my life. Now my tone might not be Southern, but there was a time in my life I did not have this. I did not know how to use my voice in this tone. So let's say I'm talking regular Tennessean. Brother Elijah can tell you Tennessee some country folk. So I'm talking regular Tennessean, and I'm at the University of Maryland. I'm at the University of Maryland talking regular Tennessean to the point that my roommate at the University of Maryland, and I can call Gregory right now, and Gregory will say, yeah, Bama, is that you? They called me Bama. I was like, man, and as much as I hated the state and people in that, I said, man, don't call me Bama. Well, you Bama to us. Yeah, and I was like, what that mean? What that mean? Bama. Right. That's why they'd be like, here come Bama. Stop waving and speaking.
It wasn't a compliment.
I remember when I first got on campus, I was straight up Forrest Gump. Hey, everybody. Hey, I'd be like, hey, how you doing? And they'd be like, man, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm speaking. You gotta
be cool, Joe. You gotta be cool. But that's the thing about, you know what? And that's what is the other thing about communication, what I really like how you brought that topic up, bro, in Berlin. Like we all from different parts of the world, and how we communicate is like so different. And from what we like I said, we're used to. Like me being up north, all that waving when somebody drive across your front porch, we looking at up north, we like, I don't know you, like what you got going on? But that's how people greet in the South. And then when you get to Louisiana, because South Carolina, Louisiana, 2 different ways. Louisiana, they calling you baby, and they calling you, love, and they really want to greet you in a nice way. They always want to feed you. Where I'm from, if you feeding me and calling me baby and calling me love, we together. I don't know what else you got going on. Like you ain't doing all that. Like nah, that ain't. You don't do this to everybody else. This is mine.
I remember when I moved to New York and I realized I can't say what's up to people anymore.
No, we don't do that.
In Oklahoma, we hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, what's up? I came to Harlem. They took by 5, bro. You gotta stop saying what's up to people.
Bro. In Oklahoma, that seems to be the word of choice. When I was in Lawton, Oklahoma, they said what's up to me so much. I used to be like, I used to look up. I'd be, what is up? Yeah, what the hell? What's up?
Nah, what's up?
Man, you was a Bama.
Like when you go to Detroit, Detroit, they were speaking, they'd be like, what up, though? What up, though? But in Miami, where I'm at, when somebody said what up, though, it's hands time.
Right, hold it. Right. So in Florida, right, when you say what up, though, that means, because I was at FAMU. Mm-hmm. And the cat said that. He said, what up, though? And all of a sudden, we on the sidelines, and they about to, I was like, wait a minute, what they about to scrap? Dude just asked me what's happening. The dude was like, hey. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Like you know how you
in Houston, what you own. In Houston, it was what you own. That meant you better run what you own.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you said
this is what I mean. Like everywhere as black Americans, we've remixed the English language so much, and we understand it better than anybody on this planet. So when people, especially from other cultures, when they speak English as a second or third language, they can never police the way that we speak, and we need to go ahead and check that right away.
I don't know if you guys know the content creator Lou. He always reenact like football skits and stuff that.
Yeah. He do Dion all the time.
Yeah, he do Dion all the time.
He did the Shannon Sharp one that was hilarious, right?
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I don't know if you guys seen the skit with him and Drewski when
Drewski
they
all
shook
sold off.
hands. So
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
shook
yeah.
hands, and it was crazy. They shook hands. They was around a whole bunch of white people, and Drewski was mic'd up, and it was one white guy there. He was like a content creator as well, but he know black culture. So when Drewski and Lou seen each other like, yo, then they're like, well, that's all he was doing. Literally, he was making that sound. And the white content creators say, this is how interesting black people is. Around all these white people, they communicated with each other by saying, And what's crazy is, I was like, damn, I actually know what they said by their body language and their movements and stuff like that. But the average white person, well, most white people, they're not going to get our culture, but we change things anyway. And this is the most beautiful and interesting thing about our culture, and that's how powerful it is. I remember teaching my niece probably like 2 years ago about ballerinas, and most people don't know that the ballerinas actually comes from black slaves. It came from them tipping around in the house and moving out the house that way that the masses don't sit, and it became an art and it became a culture and a dance. So we always find a way to effectively communicate and try to help each other out. The Underground Railroad, us putting braids in our head and stuff like that, giving directions on where to go and how to go and stuff like that, which is the whole reason why braids was, thing. So we found a way to communicate with each other even when they catch on to one another. So I do admire the fact that we always change, our thinking. And I have to be honest with you, and it's probably gonna be my first time saying this. So uh I currently talk to a young lady who's South African, and she speaks 7 languages. And oh my God, it's quite interesting. When I be like on the phone with her, she go from one language to another language, and I'm like, nah, that's not the same language. She's like, of course it's not, but it's just quite interesting. But even with her 7 languages that she speak, she said that 3 of those languages they have like 4 other offset languages that's connected to them. I'm like, damn. And it came from the apartheid. So the South African apartheid was pretty much like segregation here. They had the same rules and stuff like that. So some of these languages was created during apartheid, so they know how to communicate with one another. And I was like, damn, we do the same thing in our community still to this day in America. So I just love the fact that we can always adopt and change the rules throughout the way that we want to, no matter where we go at. But I do dislike the fact that some of us lack education when it comes to us, like some of us don't have no excuses why we don't understand and why we don't know. Like with these phones that we have right now give us access to so many people in this world. All you have to do is type up Louisiana videos, then you can see how the hell these people communicate. Or if you go to the West Coast and you can see how everybody on the West Coast speak nothing but proper English. Or you go to New York and you see everybody talk aggressive and they cut some of their words. Or you come down south to Miami where they say the people have the most beautiful accent. Well, we cut every goddamn word there is, even I.
So with that
But
being said, it's 33 minutes past the hour. Man, it's been a fun show today. It looked like the 4 brothers went in good today. So let me start off with my brother in Berlin. Man, give me some closing words. Let's get up out of here.
Thank you again. Rest in peace, Neely Fuller. I just did my first show yesterday as a test run. And again, doing the book of questions on my channel. Come check it out. Anyone that's interested of getting a showcase of them answering these said questions, hit me up. It's no arguing. It's not about getting gotcha moments again. It's just for you being asked questions that you've probably never been asked before and getting the opportunity to answer them and speak honestly. That's it.
Hey,
thank you so much,
brother. Put that link in the chat to your podcast. Put that link in our chat where folks can click, like, and share and follow brother Elijah Fitztake. Let's go.
send me some Tennessee gear, Elijah, when you get some. Even though I don't like them, but I do like that gray and orange.
Don't give that gator ish. Don't give that gator ish. All he gonna do is clown you if he lose. I probably if they lose, he gonna be the first. No, don't give that gator ish.
They didn't give us anything yet, Brother Bowtie, but if I could, I would. But again, first and foremost, I want to say thank y'all for having me on this platform. First, Fitztake is doing well. We was going over content strategies for the football season last night, and I can't wait to see what we're gonna put out there. What you guys are gonna see what we put out there. It's gonna be pretty fun. But besides that, guys, I just want to say continue to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate that. And then look out for a new show that's coming out soon. I could officially announce we got something going on at our news channel. I got a podcast that I'm working with and something with the Sunday night show after Sunday Night Football. So your boy will be working a lot during football season. And I'm just trying to check it in before next week start because that's when it all starts for us. So I just want to say thank you.
Speaking of which, it is the 14th day of August. Man, the countdown is on. You will catch me, and I will be on all my social media platforms broadcasting live from Atlanta, Georgia, as college football kicks off with the SWAC MEAC Challenge. I will be there in Georgia, in Atlanta, as the Southern University Jaguars take on the North Carolina Central Eagles. Football is back, y'all. Football is back in full swing, and I will definitely be in the building. You can catch me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter X, and on YouTube. As I always close, on the behalf of Brother Bowtie down in sunny Miami, Florida, Brother Elijah Nixon in Knoxville, Tennessee, brother in Berlin, Brother Washington, who is in Berlin, Germany, Sister Alethea and Pimpin' Positivity, Sister Jax, who is in Atlanta, Georgia, getting her daughter into Spelman right now, and all our esteemed alumnus of hashtag Truth Be Told and JD Live. Listen, be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today to be a blessing to someone somewhere, that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way they could ever pay you back. And always remember that there is no secret. What God can do, what he has done for others, he willingly can do for you. For what God is with, nothing and no one can stand against you. Be blessed. Have a great day. Hope to see you tomorrow for Friday. This is hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live. We up out of here. Peace.